You only have 6 to 8 seconds to make a good impression with your LinkedIn profile. Is your LinkedIn profile doing that? Your prospective client and employers could be checking out your profile right now. Is your profile hooking them in and encouraging them to connect with you and maybe eventually hire you? Or do they find it bland or confusing and just move on? The good news is you only need to change 3 things, and you can change them in about 10 minutes to make your LinkedIn profile super attractive to prospective clients and employers. If you watched this whole video and would like me to review your LinkedIn profile and give you specific feedback, just leave a comment below. I'm Avi Singh, Power BI Pro with over 15,000 followers on LinkedIn. Besides Power BI training and consulting, I also coach others to become independent Power BI consultants and live a life of freedom. And LinkedIn has been a crucial part of our strategy to attract clients. So let me show you the top 3 things to update on your profile and start attracting clients and employers. So I'm not going to make you wait. I'm going to give you the 3 elements you need to change right away. Those are your tagline, your photo, and your background photo. But what you need to understand is why are these elements important and how do they actually show up on the LinkedIn platform and influence those people who might come across you, to really understand how to do these 3 elements the right way. So I'm going to show you my profile, but my profile, so remember, besides being a Power BI consultant and trainer myself, I also coach others to become independent Power BI consultants. So I'm also going to show you examples which are possibly going to be closer to you, and these are going to be some incredible members from our Power BI consultant program and part of our the Power BI Pro online community of independent consultants. So I'm going to show you those profiles as you might be able to relate more closely to them. But let's start with the first element, and that should be the simplest element, and that is your photo right here. So the photo, the rules are really simple. It should be a close-up of your face with a neutral background. Now I do use this yellow background, but maybe I would be better off with a neutral background. So again, let's use some of our other members as examples. Victoria, lovely photo, close-up of the face, neutral background. Works great. Ross, same thing. Good photo, close-up, neutral background. Kimberly and Mike have similar photos. Mike's could be tighter. So let me show you why I'm saying that, right? So why, that's the most important part to understand, right? So if you look at, so this was a post where I was commenting. This was a post by one of my friends, Shweta Jain. She talked about working mom. Always love her posts, and I commented on that. So you notice on my profile, the photo is, kind of big enough, but over here, photo is kind of small. And that is often how a lot of people may encounter you. And that is why both of those things are important. It should be tight on your face, because if it's too zoomed out, then if it's shown in small, then your face wouldn't show up that way. We do connect with human faces quite a bit, so you want it to be pretty tight on your face, and that is why you don't want a busy background. You don't want a lot of stuff in the background. And hey, you don't need a professional photographer or anything. Your smartphone is great. Just stand in front of a neutral wall and just ask somebody to take your photo, and it's going to be good. And again, crop it to make sure it's close on your face. And let's talk about the second element, which is your tagline. And this is perhaps the most important element. Photo is important too. But I'll tell you why. Why is this important? It's important because your tagline follows you everywhere. So you noticed when I was commenting on this post, people would see my photo, my name, and then they would see my tagline. Now for the tagline, the maximum number of characters allowed are 220, I think. So this one, you can use a longer version. I think mine is around 170 plus characters. But as you probably noticed here, that it does get truncated. So here you can notice that it's getting truncated at this part. So just be aware if you're using a longer tagline. So tagline is important. It follows you everywhere, but this is what most people mess up completely. And there are two classic mistakes which I don't want you to be making. The first mistake is to what I used to do earlier. It's like, oh, I am this at this company, and it's like business analyst at Microsoft. That's boring. Nobody cares. That's not the right way to do it. And I'll tell you why. The second mistake that people make is they stuff in tech keywords. Oh boy, I can speak for a long time about that. I'll give you the short version. Building your career, your profile, your business on the sand dune of tech is extremely risky. And I'm 40 plus, and that's when kind of my life changed, because I looked at that and I'm like, is that what I want to do for the rest of my life? Keep trying to climb up on the sand dune. If you want to build your career, your business on that sand dune of tech, then good luck, my friend. But your tagline shouldn't be stuffing in your keywords. What you need to do instead is to focus on a specific niche and make your tagline about that. And it's simplest for me. I'll come back to my example, but I'll focus some of our members of our consultant program on a group of Power BI pros. So if you notice Victoria, she's saying who she helps and how she helps them. She helps finance managers, and this is how she helps them. She can help them improve financial management and reporting, right? Let's see some other examples. Ross, he works with teams who are focused on the support costs. So this is somebody who's running like a support call center. Could be internal, could be external. And so yeah, it's so simple and straightforward. And clarity is always a good thing in tagline. And remember, you only have a few seconds. So in that few seconds, can they say, here's who you help, here's how you help them, and then say, hey, is that for me? Am I interested? Kimberly, focusing on helping artisan food brands with data, so that's incredible. And Mike focuses on emerging alcohol beverage brands. So folks, again, you have two choices. One, you can be, Power BI and this and AI and all that stuff and keep riding the tech waves, or you can focus on a specific business niche. And of course, for me, my tagline is focused around my story. And if you go to the page about our Power BI consultant program, it has a longer version of that. So I was a highly paid employee at one of the best companies in the world, at Microsoft, but it just felt like there was something missing in my life. And I had to decide, do I want to keep doing this for the rest of my life, or do I dare to dream for more? And now I help others do the same, right? So that's the reference that I have, ex-Microsoft turned freedompreneur. And they will see part of that when they see my comments. And if they click, then they will see the full tagline, and they'll know that, hey, I'm a trainer, a coach, and I can help you become an independent consultant, create that life of freedom. All right, so that is your tagline, super important. The last element is the background image, and that's really simple. For one, do not leave it as the default background. So yeah, make sure you change something, and there's only one rule for that. The background image needs to match with your tagline. So again, you have to understand the why behind this, right? So a lot of stuff that's going on in the online platform is about trust, winning their trust, or at least not losing their trust. And one way that you can lose trust if things don't seem to match, right? So, and this can happen consciously, like they might notice it, or it might just be like a vague feeling. They're like, yeah, this is not it, right? So again, you have to understand how these three things work. They're not going to see your background image, and that's not going to be the first thing they see. Most likely, they're going to see your photo, your name, and then they'll click on that and say, hey, that looks interesting, or maybe you had an interesting comment, and then they would go to your profile. And that's when they see the image. So they've already seen your tagline. And that's why it's really important for these two to match. And it doesn't have to be perfect. By the way, the tagline, the photo, the background photo, focus on progress rather than perfection. If you follow these three tips, your profile is probably going to be better than 95% of the people. I forgot to say one thing about the tagline. I'll come back to that. So let's say, your background image just needs to match this. Now, there are two styles that you can use, and it's totally up to you. One style is just have a photo, but again, the photo has to match. So if you look at Victoria's profile, her photo, so she helps finance managers, and the photo is, it's got numbers, it's got calculators. That's a great match. 10 out of 10. That's great. That's awesome. So that's one style of doing that. The other style is to use text. So here, Ross, he's saying reducing support costs, and this kind of echoes the same thing, just in a slightly different way. Why are my support costs so high? Hey, I can help you, right? So it reinforces that. If you look at my profile, again, they have seen at least part of my tagline, and here the main thing I want them to see is, hey, ditch the 9 to 5, create your life of freedom, right? And then have some links and stuff. So those are the three things. Now, I had said that I'm going to say one more thing about the tagline. And I talked about the mistakes that how people say, oh, I'm a business analyst at Microsoft, or cram it in with tech keywords. Like, oh, look at all these things that I know. One reason why that style for your tagline, or God forbid, if you introduce yourself to somebody, doesn't work, because it's very me focused. It's focused on me. It's like, I am this. I know this. The truth is, people don't really care for that. What's going on in their head are their problem, the stuff that they're dealing with. So, and that is why with this approach, who do you help? How do you help them? That has the best chance of making that connection. So hope you're understanding this new, I know you understand this nuance that, instead of being me focused, it needs to be kind of you focused. It needs to be focused on them, the employer or the potential client you're trying to attract. Thank you for watching this video, and just leave a comment below if you would like me to review your LinkedIn profile and send a specific feedback privately just to you, so you can start attracting clients and employers.